see it. Now, look, speaking of wins, speaking of struggles, last episode we talked Cowboys, we talked Philly. Come on, man, lay it on me. What do you got?
Okay, so it's a tale of two halves. So I know there's a lot of Dallas Cowboy people out there that are like, oh, Cooper Rush had a bad half, we got to get rid of. But I'll tell you what, the adjustments with Kellen Moore.
It was great.
McCarthy came in.
Yep.
Got that team playing football, right? So what I was most impressed about, they played the absolute worst half they possibly could have played. Eagles with Hurts, they had the perfect setup. Right?
Their game plan was solid.
It was crazy.
Defense and offense, they were dialed in.
They took Parsons out of the game. They didn't even block him.
Yeah.
They just played an RPO off of him.
Yeah.
And it was crazy to watch. But then Dallas had to go back and say, okay, we got a bunch of youngins here. We got to get better. We came out. And then I'll tell you, Cooper Rush played an amazing second half. So we all know that Patrick Mahomes played a horrible half in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
We know in the NFC Championships, we know that the game with Buffalo and Kansas City last week, they didn't play so well.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is it's okay to have a bad half. It's how you respond when you come out of the locker room.
Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And they played really well. So I think the Philly only got 6 in the second half, and Dallas marked 17.
Yep.
So did they lose the game? Yes. If there was more time in the game of 60 minutes, maybe it would have looked different. But overall, Dallas is looking really good, and now Dak's been cleared for this week. So,
yeah, I'm super excited.
But I'll tell you this is the bad thing. Mm-hmm. If Dak comes out and loses to the Bears and the Lions in the next 2 weeks, then we got a quarterback controversy.
I've got faith.
I hate to say it.
I've got faith in Dak. I think he's going to come in, and the Cowboys are going to be cooking with Crisco right off the bat. And look, I said it last week. I had to eat some crow because of my thoughts on the previous system. I am telling you, this team, the coaches, what the GMs put together, it absolutely works well. They put game plans together well. They make adjustments well. They didn't panic.
No.
And really excited to see it. So regardless of who you put at quarterback, I am very optimistic that we can do it. And look, it's a long season.
It is. We're early.
We're still in the first half of the season. We've got this.
But you got to look at it in the sense that it's early in the season, but you got to start taking concern with it because the East is playing well. The Giants are looking exceptionally well.
They're looking great.
So now what's going to happen is now you look down in the South. Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess Freddie wanted to cut that Miller Lite open.
That's right.
But I think what you got to look at, though, is so now what happens in the South is New Orleans isn't playing well.
Yeah.
Atlanta kind of emerged a little bit, and they played the Bucs pretty tough. So it's interesting now. You might get 3 of the tickets to the playoffs out of the East, and now it might only be the division winner, right?
I want to see.
Isn't that interesting?
It is, but I need to see more Falcons, man. I'm sorry. Ever since that Super Bowl that Tom Brady ripped their heart out and showed it to them, I need to see more Falcons playing. You got to show me consistent winning, then I'm on board. Until then, the Falcons have a big question mark.
I think Mariota came in and he's playing some pretty good ball, like how he looked back in Oregon, right? So you got to look at him and look at the fact that Tom Brady got a really ridiculous call there at the end.
Yep.
Now they did miss the pass interference on the play before,
of course,
but at the end of the day, that could have shaped itself a little bit differently.
Sure.
And if I'm in Tampa Bay right now, I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm not panicking. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Bucs fan. I'm a Bears fan and a Cowboy fan. Unfortunately, all in the NFC. But that's where you grow up. That's called loyalty, right?
Of course.
It's called neighborhood loyalty.
There you go.
But I was just with Ryan Jensen this week.
Yeah.
I had a few words with him. You know, he's a big supporter of 9-9 Black Rifle and us.
And the Bucs came over here to post, too, to MacDill Air Force Base, which was awesome. So shout out to the Bucs organization.
Thanks a lot for that. So with Ryan Jensen come back as a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand the center position nowadays.
Yeah.
They make a lot of calls on the offense, right? A lot of the audibles come from the center.
Yeah.
So if Ryan Jensen comes back, I think that brings a level of unity back to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And I think the Bucs, they have got to walk this Carolina game as it's their Super Bowl right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't get any easier, because then we get the Ravens and the Rams at home.
Yeah.
And look, the Rams have something to say, right? And so do the Ravens right now. They're not playing their best either. So these are three, like, basically NFC championship and one AFC championship game going down. But if the Bucs lose all three of these, our season's done. Well, just because of the emergence of the East. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that the Bucs also have this sort of double-edged sword of a lot going on off the field. You know, you can't, read 2 pages on any of the news channels without hearing about Tom Brady, his personal life, and things of that nature. So there's a lot going on over there at the Bucs camp that they've got to just get focused and win this game for sure. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about what's going on the off the field?
I'll tell you, Tom Brady supposedly made a quote. Obviously, it's on every 3 posts across social media right now. And he made a quote saying that I see NFL seasons kind of like soldiers deploying. Okay, so am I mad at Tom Brady? No. Word choice is important. I don't think it was intentional. You got to remember, the Bucs are immersed in the McDill platform.
Of course.
Here with the SF, SETCOM, SOCOM. So we tell them stories and they take it as such. Yeah. So am I mad at Tom Brady for saying that? No. Yeah. But word choice is important.
Yeah, and it's funny. I think my interpretation was he meant it like a campaign.
Exactly.
Like, we have to go over now. We got to play 17 games in the regular season. Then we have to get into the playoffs. Like, he's looking at it as a campaign, not as a battlefield. And look, I will say the military, I mean, how often do we use football lexicon and what we do? All right, guys, it's the 4th quarter. We really got to get after this now. All right, it's only halftime in this. So I think that I'll give him a pass on this for sure. And not just because I got a chance to meet him when I was a younger guy, and he and his father could not have been nicer.
Amazing people.
And not have been, they took about 5 minutes when they figured out we were in the Army, a friend of mine, and gracious, wonderful folks. And so even though I wasn't a big Pats fan, after he walked away, I looked at my buddy and go, oh my gosh, I think I'm a Pats fan now, which just happened. I don't know. That was ridiculous. Right. So I'm a fan, and hopefully all that stuff works itself out.
And I'll close on it. So it's like when we were on the Fort, we're at Fort Irwin, and we call it the Super Bowl of training.
Sure.
We give these soldiers the best possible chance to do great things on the battlefield, right?
Of course.
Certified through leaders, and what do we call it? The Super Bowl. So we use their terms
all
as
the
well.
time. All the time.
So I'm just saying, Tom Brady, you're probably going to watch this, or at least Ryan Jensen is, and you're going to hear about it. And I'll just tell you, I'm not mad because I know what you were trying to say. I'm not going to be like the veteran community in every news network to try to get clickbait. I don't need that. But please, word choice is important. And it just could have been said a little bit better. But other than that, you're still our GOAT, and we still need you to play. So best of luck to you. Great segment.
That's right. Go win, Tom.